What if you could live your life all over again? But there's a catch. You have to carry every single memory of your tragic, humiliating downfall still burning in your mind. Would you let history just repeat itself? Or would you use that pain to rewrite destiny? Today, we are diving deep into the world of I Shall Master This Family, also known as I'll Be the Matriarch in This Life. The epic tale of Florinia Lombardi, a woman who was given a second chance and decided to use it to conquer the world that cast her aside. Picture this: the Lombardi family. They're basically the fantasy equivalent of the richest, most powerful dynasty you can imagine. They control the empire's economy. They have the emperor's ear. They are the top of the food chain. And our hero, Florinia Lombardi, was the granddaughter of the great patriarch of that family. She should have had it all, right? But she had one unforgivable flaw in the eyes of her relatives. Her mother was a commoner. Because of this, she was the family's dirty little secret. Her brilliant mind, her tireless work, her loyalty to the Lombardi name meant nothing. Her greedy, arrogant uncles and her sneering cousins saw her as nothing more than an outsider, a stain on their pristine bloodline. Her first life was a long, slow tragedy. She worked herself to the bone for a family that despised her. She watched as her useless, alcoholic father drank away his potential, leaving her to clean up his messes. She would spend her days managing complex trade deals worth millions, and her nights listening to her cousins mock her for not having the right color hair. She presented brilliant proposals that could have saved the family from decline, only to have her incompetent cousin, Belsac, steal the credit and then run the project into the ground. Her reward for all her effort? Betrayal. When the family finally collapsed under the weight of its own corruption, they needed a scapegoat. And who better than the half-blood girl no one ever wanted? They cast her aside, blamed her for their failures, and left her to die. And so, Florentia died young, powerless, broken, and completely, utterly alone, with nothing but the bitter taste of regret. But fate had other plans. Florinia awakens, not in the cold darkness, but in the warm sunlight of her childhood room. She's small again. She's 7 years old. But when she looks in the mirror, she doesn't see a child. She sees the ghost of the woman she was. She remembers everything: the sneers, the betrayal, her tragic, lonely death. And she remembers the future. She knows exactly which investments will fail, which political alliances will crumble, and how the Lombardi family will fall. And in that moment, a fire is lit in her soul. The fear is gone. The sadness is gone. All that's left is a cold, burning resolve. This time, things will be different. This time, I will be the one in charge. This time, I will master this family. From that moment on, the game changes. The quiet, overlooked child is gone. In her place is a 7-year-old who moves with the confidence of a CEO. She shocks her relatives by displaying a wisdom that is completely unnatural. At a family dinner, when her arrogant Uncle V's is boasting about a new shipping contract, little Florentia calmly points out a fatal flaw in the logistics that could bankrupt the entire project. The room goes silent. Her uncle sputters, calling her a child who knows nothing, but the patriarch is listening. Her cousins mock her for her commoner blood. She just smiles, and then systematically dismantles their arguments in front of the patriarch until they're left sputtering and humiliated. They see a little girl, but she sees a chessboard, and she is about to play a game they can't even comprehend. But Florinia knows she can't fight this battle alone. And her greatest ally comes from the most unlikely of places: the Imperial Palace. She seeks out the second prince, Perez, a boy who, like her, has been abused, forgotten, and underestimated his entire life. He's an outcast prince living in a dilapidated palace, a prisoner of the cruel empress. But Florentia sees his true potential. She remembers from her past life that this broken boy becomes a ruthless, powerful emperor. He sees a king. Their first meeting is a calculated risk. She sneaks away, finds him, and offers him a partnership. She doesn't just befriend him. She invests in him. She uses her future knowledge to give him information, to help him survive the plots against him, and to build him up from nothing. And together, these two forgotten children begin a secret alliance that will one day shake the very foundations of the empire. But with every step forward, new enemies emerge. The Empress and the cunning Angina's family, who see Perez as a threat to their own son's claim to the throne, now see Florentia as a co-conspirator. The Angina's family, masters of poison and political backstabbing, begin to target her directly. The court is a snake pit of corrupt nobles and shadowy plots, and Florinia has to use every ounce of her intelligence to outmaneuver them all. Her greatest weapon isn't just her knowledge of the future, it's her unshakable, defiant belief that she deserves to lead. The turning point comes when Florentia starts to win over the one person who matters most, her grandfather, the patriarch, Rolac Lombardi. He's a cold, brilliant, and ruthless man who sees everything. And at first, he's suspicious of this strange, wise beyond her years granddaughter. But she proves herself. Again and again. She saves the family from a massive financial crisis by predicting a collapse in the price of iron. She single-handedly establishes a new, incredibly profitable trade route that her uncles had dismissed as impossible. She shows him a vision for the Lombardi family that is even grander than his own. And Rulac, the man who values strength and results above all else, finally sees the fire in her. He finally recognizes the true heir of the Lombardi legacy. The road ahead is still filled with betrayal, schemes, and brutal battles for power. But Florinia refuses to back down. She knows the price of failure because she's already paid it once. I Shall Master This Family is not just a story about being reborn. It's a story about strength, ambition, and the sheer force of human will. It asks a powerful question. Can one person's determination truly overcome prejudice, corruption, and fate itself? For Florinia Lombardi, the answer is clear. She will not only survive, she will rise. And she will become the true matriarch in this life.